Hi, welcome to Chapter 8, and this chapter is mainly on safety management. So let's look into Chapter 8 and see what we're going to learn a little bit more about, again, safety and how important safety is when you watch children and also being aware of your environment. So our first slide is talking about unintentional injuries. So, unintentional injuries are the primary cause of death among children under 14 years of age. So just remember, each year more than 200,000 children under 14 years are treated in the U.S. Emergency Department for playground-related injuries. So as a teacher, we just need to make sure that these types of injuries are minimized as much as possible. You know, kids are going to get hurt on their own. We cannot save every fall or, accident from happening, but we definitely could try to minimize, any emergencies or injuries that supervision can help stop. Okay, so let's look at the next slide. So approximately 68% of deaths due to injury-related causes occur among children and adolescents 5 to 19. So again, we're going to look at the different types of unintentional injuries. So young children that are at a especially higher risk for unintentional injury due to their limited understanding of cause and effect. For example, a child may, walk in front of a swing that another child is using and not really aware that if they walk too close, they could get hit. And that does happen quite a bit as far as cause and effect for children. So they just have that limited understanding. Also, immature motor skills like running and stopping quickly is not really built yet. Their bodies are a little immature with their motor skills. Their inexperience of just playing, even hanging, climbing, jumping, and of course their exuberance, which means their activity level, is higher. So these are just some of the risks that children, because of their, lack of age. So our next slide, I'm going to hold this up, is talking about risk management. So requires continuous awareness and implementation of safety practices. So for the teacher indoor, the classroom, outdoors, need to really implement safety standards. For example, outdoors, not only are teachers supervising on every area of the campus, but talking to children about being careful and cautious. For example, when you go up a slide, you don't climb up the slide, you go down a slide. You go on your bottom. So you constantly are talking to kids about safety. And then also in the classroom, when children are using scissors, for example, you want to make sure they're holding them in their hands correctly, not walking around the room with them. And again, that just helps safety practices. So also risk management requires that adults be aware of their own well-being and circumstances that might make them less effective in monitoring children's safety. So for example, not being able to see around the entire classroom. Maybe there's hidden areas. So you just want to make sure that you don't have that inside and outside. Okay? And then last, requires adults to be positive role models and help children with their safety management. So teachers need to help with that. Okay, so developmental risk. In what ways do children's developmental characteristics influence the type of injuries they are likely to sustain? So think about that. What ways do children's developmental characteristics influence the type of injuries they are likely to sustain? So remember, kids are really influenced by certain things. Maybe they're curious. For example, a lot of times children are curious of water, especially like a pool. They want to feel it. In this little picture, the little boy is petting an animal. Probably, maybe running up on an animal. It could even be a dog. So they're just interested, curious, and may do things that might harm themselves or others. So what are some potential sources of risk for infants, for toddlers that are on the move, for preschoolers who are building their large muscle motor skills, and also school-age children? So thinking about some of those risks. So think about infants. What could be risks for infants? And it's really, talking about this helps spark ideas from you, from myself. When I think of infants, I think of, rollovers, or infants, their heads are not fully, their neck isn't fully strong yet. So there's a lot of different risks for injury. If people don't hold children, the infants correctly, lay them on the couch for a second, walk away, or the bed, many children fall. Infants fall off the bed. When you have mobile toddlers like going around the house, what do you think of as far as injury? A good thing to do is go on your hands and knees and crawl around. They literally put everything in their mouth. So maybe you crawling around the house will kind of give you that eye level of what they see and remove anything that may cause harm if they touch it, because they are going to be curious. Make sure you have outlet covers so they can't put their finger in outlets or other things in outlets. Again, preschoolers, they're getting a little older. What are some hazards in the classroom, in the home, outdoors that you can think of? And then again, school-age children. Okay, so there's just some risk as they get older. So effective risk management is based on 4 basic principles. These are great principles to think about. Advanced planning and thoughtful selection of toys, play equipment, and activities. So remember thinking if it's age appropriate for them. So as far as toys, make sure there's not little parts to toys for younger children. Is the play equipment for their age group? Is it too high? Too low? And what about activities? So plan activities are developmentally appropriate and they address the children's interests and abilities. Next, number 2, establishing and consistently enforcing the rules. So this is a good idea to just make sure to, when you're outdoors with kids or indoors, to just make sure that they know the rules and following them. You want to make sure the kids, when you're outdoors, you're telling them the rules of the slide, the bars, where to kick the ball, like away from others, not towards them. Inside the classroom, we do not run. Just things like that, just to remind them. And honestly, reminding kids will help them, like, oh yeah, they'll remember next time, like, oh, do we run? No. So again, just establishing and being consistent in enforcing the rules. Number 3, providing quality supervision, and that's from all of your staff, teachers, aides. Some people have, ABA therapists or whoever is supervising the children. It's a good idea to make sure that you're spread out in the outdoor play area. There's proper amount of supervision for indoors and outdoors. And if a place is licensed, they should be first aid certified. Okay, so just make sure staff is first aid certified is a great safety management that you can do. Also, be familiar with the emergency policies and procedures. For example, earthquake drill. Where do you go? So if you're going underneath your desk, there's an earthquake, the kids know what to do. This should be done monthly. And then where do you go outside in a safe area? There's usually a designated area for fire alarms. When they go off, where do you go? Of course, away from the fire. Where do you meet? Or earthquake, where do you go? So again, just knowing that information. And number 4, safety education. This should be ongoing. You should take advantage of formal and spontaneous learning opportunities of safety education and should gradually help children develop self-protection skills. So this will actually help them remember what is safe and what is not safe. And then safety and toys. So selecting safe toys and play equipment. This is really important. Many children choke on small parts, and I hate to say that many children have stopped breathing because of small parts lodged perfectly in the throat. So I remember as a teacher having those little they were like little fruit counters like you use for math, and it has like a banana, orange, apple, and they're little counters. But honestly, they're too perfectly round that if a kid put them in their mouth and may swallow, they could choke on that. So I took those all away. It's just too much of a hazard. Some other things are those little round balls that you get wet, and they're a sensory toy. Those are really not the best either if children put them in their mouth. Small bouncy balls, not safe. So again, just avoiding those types of toys. And this goes on also, and you can look at the website, but be alert and current product recalls and recommendations, because there are some toys that have been recalled. And additional safety. So only provide our materials that pose no safety risks. Take special precautions to ensure that the field trips are safe for children. We don't often get to go on that many field trips, but if you do, just make sure that you have enough teacher-child ratio, that the field trip itself is safe, planning ahead, making sure you have emergency cards with you. If anyone has any medications or any medical needs, that you have all that in a backpack if you were to go on a field trip. And additional safety, establish feeding and care guidelines for classroom pets. So if you do have pets, what are they? Is there any children allergic to any types of animals? Like let's say you have a little hamster. Always have children and adults wash their hands after handling an animal. Or even if you go to a field trip and touch them, make sure their hands are washed. And then a good thing also is prepare for emergencies, like I say, to do a fire drill. Earthquake drill is really important on a school campus, even in the home, knowing how to be prepared. And this will just help everyone not react in fear, but actually be ready and knowing what to do in case something